Hi, welcome back to third video of the C programming series. In this video, we are going to discuss five basic things that are much needed, or even we can say prerequisite to learn concepts of C programming. So we can say that these are the building blocks of C programming, so that we can learn these basics and we can proceed further. So these are the five basic things to be discussed in this video. Tokens, keywords, then followed by data types, variables, and finally constants. So what do you mean by tokens? So as per the definition, basic building blocks of the program is called as tokens. So to make it simple, there is a line of code in C program. We are trying to break that line as much as we can, as small as we can, but still it must be meaningful. For example, in case if it is an integer int, we cannot break it further. So in case if we break this as I space n space t, this is not meaningful. So we can break a line of code into as small as we can, still it must be meaningful. So after breaking that line of code into such smaller parts, each part is called as tokens. So punctuation, individual words, characters are called as tokens. So we have given numerous examples here. Int is a token. When we give some value, int space I equal to 6, that 6 is a token. 89 strings hello world, entire string hello world is a token, at symbol is a token, operators plus is a token. So these are all the tokens. So basic fundamental building blocks of the program is called as token, or in other words, the smallest meaningful words or punctuations or characters in a C programming code is called as tokens, not only in C programming but also in other languages too. So these are called as tokens. We will have an example in C code now. So I can take this example, int c equal to a plus b. I am trying to break this entire line into smallest part as much as I can, but still it must be meaningful. I can break this part as first one. In case if I break this as I space n space t, this is actually not meaningful, and hence I am not breaking this word entirely. So this is first part, and then this is second part, equal to is a third part, fourth part, fifth, sixth, and finally semicolon. So we have 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 tokens here. So this is the detailed explanation of tokens. I think you can understand this. We can jump into next topic. So the same thing, int I equal to 100. So int is a single token, I is a token, equal to is another token, 100 is another token, and semicolon is a token. So smallest meaningful word or character or even punctuation special characters are called as tokens. Then the second thing, keywords. The words which are already defined by the compiler are the words that are understood by the compiler. I think both are almost the same. The step-by-step manner is, compiler will usually define some words, like uh, compiler will understand some words so that we can communicate to the compiler through that words. So the words which are already defined by the compiler or the words that are understood by the compiler are called as keywords. So example, int int, in case if we mention something like int space I equal to 0, then compiler will understand that this user has created a variable and that variable is a numerical variable, so integer type variable. So the second one, main. So compiler will understand that this is a function and this is the starting point of the execution. The word return, compiler will understand that the method, I mean the function has come to end of the execution. Now it is time to return some value to the place where it is called. So these are the keywords. The words that are understood by the compiler is called as keywords, right? The third part of this video is data types. So without data types, we cannot proceed further in C programming, not only in C programming, but also in any other programming language. So the data types are the uh, things that are played while using concepts. In case if I am using an if statement, inside the if statement, definitely I must be using some values or data types. So not only in if statement, but also in looping, everything. So data type is an important part. There are few categories of data types. So this is basic data type. So there are three very basic data types or very frequently used data types that are mentioned here. Integer. Inside the bracket, I have given the sample syntax for that integer to be initialized. So integer, int I equal to 0 semicolon. Similarly, float is nothing but fractional value. Float f equal to 25.8 semicolon. And then character value. So char is the keyword that mentions that the variable is going to be a single character. So char space c equal to some character value inside single quotes. It is not double quote. So these are the basic data types. Now we have few more data types. So void is another kind of data types. Void indicates that there is no value inside it. So we can skip this now. Then so basic data type has been discussed. Then void data type is discussed. Now we are coming to derived data type. So these data types are also called as built-in data types, which means we don't need to specify that what is that int. Int is nothing but some numerical value. It will start from 0 and ends in somewhere a bigger number. So these are things that are already defined by the compiler, and hence it is basic data type or built-in data type. Now derived data type is nothing but the data types that are obtained from the basic data types are called as derived data types. Arrays, pointers, structures, unions, and functions. So these 5 data types will have separate detailed video in our playlist in upcoming days. So you don't need to worry about these data types as of now. Then coming back to the fourth topic, variables. So variable, the name is actually self-explanatory. Variables are nothing but the values that can be modified throughout the program, throughout the execution of the entire program. So it cannot remain constant. It can be modified. So I have given some 3 lines of code. Int I equal to 10, I equal to I plus 1. So first line I am initializing a variable named I. So the memory block will be allocated and value 10 will be stored in that memory location. The second line I equal to I plus 1. I will take the value from I, so that is 10. Then I will add 1 to it, so it is 11. Then I will store that 11 inside the same address location, memory location. Then finally, I am printing the value of I. So the first line there is some value. Second line that value is modified. So the variable value cannot be constant. It can be modified throughout the execution of the code. So constants is nothing but the value remains read only, that is value remains constant throughout the execution of code. At any line, if I am defining that constant I equal to 10, I cannot modify this value. Instead, I can just use this value to add or subtract or to print that value. If I try to modify the value of I, it will throw an error. So I will show you runtime example now. Int a equal to 10. So it is lowercase actually. So const int a equal to 10. So this keyword means that this integer variable is going to be same throughout this execution of this entire program. Constant a equal to 10. Now I will try to print that percentage d comma a. So this will definitely run successfully. So expected output is achieved. Now I will try to modify the value of a equal to a plus 1. Now if I try to compile this code, this will definitely throw an error. See, so what is the error? Assignment of a read only variable a. So read only variable is, that is, it is a constant variable a. The value of this a cannot be changed, but we have tried to assign some value to that read only variable. So that is the exact meaning of this error. So one thing is clear. So constant values cannot be changed throughout the execution. And this is one method of declaring a constant variable. There is another method of declaring the same thing using macros. Hash define a10. That's it. So we haven't initialized the value of a here or here inside the code, but we have declared using macros. So hash define a as 10. So a is definitely 10 throughout this code. So there is no option of modifying this value. We will run this actually now. So 10 is, now we will try to modify value of a equal to a plus 12. The same thing. So we cannot modify the value of a read only variable, that is a constant variable. So this is what I have mentioned here in this comment line. This line will throw an error when we try to modify the constant variable. That will throw an error. We cannot modify constant variable. So I think we have discussed deeply the all these concepts: tokens, keywords, data types, variables, and constants. So these are all very basic concepts, much needed to be learned to proceed with further concepts, advanced concepts of C programming. So I hope this video is useful and informative. In case you have any queries, you can leave a comment below. Thanks for watching. Keep supporting us.